said to myself, we've seen this before recently. There's a lot of artists going through this right now, exactly what Roddy Ricch is going through. Chance the Rapper done hit highs of highs way too early. And then look what happened.
Yo. We got Levi's wide.
Check out the full podcast. Link below.
Artists who are suffering from dropping their best music way too early. This is a topic that you proposed. Speaking of the devil, Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch dropped a new song called Survivor's Remorse. Roddy Ricch pretty much talks about why he's kind of been MIA, which I actually looked up his Spotify. He did not drop a solo single in 2023. And this is the first solo single he had in 2024. Think about it. He didn't drop anything really the last like 2 years, right? In the song, he explains why he went MIA. Some of the things he brought up was baby mama drama. He brought up, some friends in his close circle that he cut off. And then in the song, he also acknowledges that like, yo, I understand y'all think that I fell off. I personally believe Roddy Ricch is someone who we were being a little too harsh on. After all of these years, Roddy Ricch is 23 years old, right? And I think after dropping the outstanding Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, album that I believe we used on the No Skips. That's how great it is.
Yeah, that was one of my picks. That was one of my picks, yep.
After dropping that outstanding album, we wanted just as good and better, and I don't think he gave us that following that album. Now he's kind of in a pickle where people are claiming he fell off, and he's just one of the several artists that people are just so quick to say they fell off.
Absolutely.
So is this just a matter of unfortunate circumstances where he dropped a really good album and he's now like chasing that greatness? Is it just one of those things where it's like, yo, like maybe stupid? It sounds stupid. That's why it's so hard for me to explain this. Should he drop his best work first? Like,
I don't know what you're
because I don't know how to word this.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Does it suck to drop your best
there
work
we go.
first?
There we go. All right.
sorry.
That just took a long time,
I was trying to figure it out.
I forgot we were recording for a second.
Me too.
I do think Roddy Ricch is just the latest person who has maybe unintentionally been a victim of their own success. That's how I like to look at Roddy Ricch. I agree with you, though. We were hard on Roddy Ricch. We were too hard on Roddy Ricch. It reminds me of what's happening with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, people are being too hard on her right now, right? It's like, does she deserve it? Depending on how you look at it, you might say, yeah. Other way you look at it, you might say, hell no, that's effed up. People, right? So my point of saying I do think he was a victim of his own success, bro, like you said, came out the gate swinging. First album went crazy. Hit after hit. He was like a hit maker, hit machine. I believe people looked at him like he was the next guy, rightfully so. And then I think, unfortunately, when you have such success, it's hard for you to match that on your next project naturally. And so if you're just looking at the numbers, there's going to be a decline and people are going to shape this narrative that you fell off and all this other shit. He never fell off, I don't believe. I just feel like he hit the highs too early in his career. And it reminded me, when I thought about this topic, it reminded me of other names. I said to myself, we've seen this before recently. There's a lot of artists going through this right now, exactly what Roddy Ricch is going through. We seen Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper done hit highs of highs way too early in his career. Debut album, coloring book drop. Hit after hit. He getting cosign after cosign. This happened after this happened. TV show, deal here, deal there. And then look what happened. Things come crashing down when he drops more music and people are like, yeah, but it's not coloring book. It's not acid rap. Even if the day, what's it called? The day after. What was the name of that album where he got married? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The Married album. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There was no way that album was going to top anything he put out before, just because of the anticipation and the hype. Same thing goes for Cardi B. I know people are thinking Cardi B is, I don't know, people are saying maybe she didn't fall off because she didn't really drop anything else, so how could she have fallen off? I think Cardi B is probably suffering from the effects of, again, success being too good out the gate. There's other names that I feel like we can throw in here, but and by the way, Lil Baby is another. But I want to get your thoughts, though. What do you think about, like, artists dropping their music too early? Could that be something that can hurt them at the end of the day?
Yes. I mean, first off, I wanted to bring this. What I was looking up was Roddy Ricch. I was trying to remember what his second album was called.
Live Life Fast.
Live Life Fast.
Yep.
I actually thought the album was not bad.
It was a good album.
Like, you
It was
know,
a good album.
people were saying after listening to that, they were like, man, this guy fell off. It just was not, please excuse me for being antisocial, but
Right.
it was not bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think in the hip hop world, like, people got to understand trends more. Let's be real. The studio album trend is kind of like sets you up for failure. There's a lot of people out here who, if you really look at it, has not dropped the studio album. Like, they just say, "Hey, that's not my official album. That's like a mixtape. That's just an EP." Like, a lot. Like, do you know that Saweetie has never dropped a debut album, studio album? Saweetie's been out since like 17? She's not. She's teased it. She's like, yo, yeah, you know, I'm gonna drop this EP.
I didn't even know that.
You know, did you know Normani has never dropped an album?
I do know that.
Right?
I do know that.
After all these years, Normani has not dropped an album.
Apparently, she's
Right?
supposed to drop.
She's supposed to drop.
I don't know
right?
if it's this year, but yeah.
But it's just like tease. I think that's the new wave. If I'm a manager and I'm telling my artists, I'm saying don't drop your studio album. Keep dropping EPs.
Hey, bro.
Keep dropping little 5-track EPs, 5-track, 6-track EP. Keep doing that. Like A Boogie was doing, right? A Boogie was trying to gauge how y'all feel about me. He's dropping EP. Okay, reception's good. I would do that.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that Roddy Ricch did wrong, and I think my personal opinion, what he did wrong was he dropped that first album, and then in between, I don't believe he dropped a mixtape or anything, but he put so much weight on that next album. Artists need to stop doing that. Drop your first album, then drop a little mixtape, drop a little EP, throw EPs in there, throw them, gauge the temperature of the room, and then drop your little album right after. If you do it that way, like Kendrick Lamar did it great. Like, Kendrick Lamar dropped Good Kid, Mad City, right? And then he dropped a little like
Some Untitled and Unmastered?
Untitled, right?
Yeah.
Or did that come after To Pimp a Butterfly?
I think that was before.
Before or after? But
I believe it was before.
that's to
Could be
me
wrong.
what I would do. Whether it's unreleased tapes or do something, but don't put so much weight, because that's what Lil Baby did too. Lil Baby put way too much weight on that next album.
Yeah.
And I said, I believe it never lives up to expectations.
No, I feel where you're coming. That's a good point. I like where you're going with that. I like where you went with that. You know, it's so funny. We're in a different era though. We're in a different era of music.
We're in a different era. Yeah.
Albums just don't hit. They don't mean the same like they used to.
Exactly.
Shoot, Lauryn Hill dropped one album and dipped and never dropped
Lauryn
again.
Hill dropped one album and dipped.
And is the number one album according to Apple Music. That one album that she dropped is the best album of all time.
Of all time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said,
Crazy.
I think artists need to just.
Bro, can you imagine if Lauryn Hill drops new music? It's automatically not going to hit the way the first one hit. Like, just by default.
Just by
like,
default,
I don't
yeah.
think people
Yeah.
understand that. Like,
Yeah.
like, everything you said was true. The amount of time, the hype,
The
all the
pressure.
pressure
It's
that
just-
comes with it. It's an automatic setting yourself up for failure.
And I think that's what
Yeah.
that's what does these artists in a lot of times. Like,
Absolutely.
you know, take advantage of EPs, guys. Like, that is just such a genius way of bringing out your music. Take advantage of these deluxe versions. I mean, it's just a deluxe version. Don't just put all your weight on the next album, because people, that's just the way we work. We just think everything is not that good.
No, I like that.
But
I like where you went with that.
Listen to the full episode, link below.